Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good afternoon. That was a bit of an interesting screen there. I must admit, I usually just skip past all that stuff, but I was so used to skipping past it, I didn't even know it was there. How's that? Welcome to Pillars of Eternity, where we're going to be starting the White March DLC. Which is basically Obsidian Entertainment's homage to Icewind Dale, one of the other two Infinity Engine games. There were three major Infinity Engine games. One was
The Angwithan my home, but your fortress is impressive in its own little way.
There were three major Infinity Engine games. Baldur's Gate is the biggest known one. Then there was Icewind Dale and Planescape Torment, each taking place in different parts of the worlds of D&D. It's like Baldur's Gate, I think Icewind Dale took place in the Forgotten Realms, which is like the default setting now. I'm gonna dismiss you. I'm gonna take you. And I think I'll stick to you guys as we're going now to the White March. So yeah, so it takes place in like a snowy world. At least it starts out there. I must admit, I don't think I've actually completed Icewind Dale. I really want to though. It's a very fun game, but it focuses way more on the action. The combat side of these kind of games has always been the weakest aspect, and Icewind Dale is basically pretty much all combat. It's not like an ARPG like Diablo, there's still a lot of story there, but not as much as Baldur's Gate. Right, so it'll take us 24 hours to get to Stalwart Village. Your party is considered high level for the content. Critical path can be increased or for the same regardless of the option you choose. In that case, I'm just going to go standard. I want to steamroll it. I'm sorry, I'm a sore loser right now, but, no, I had my ass kicked in the beginning of this game.
Set out for Stalwart. The White March rises up in the distance, to the north and south as far as the eye can see. It beckons to you with peaks like broken fingers. The road thins to a tattered ribbon, and the shadow of the mountains falls across your path. You've barely begun your climb when the darkening sky pummels you with hailstones and turns the ground beneath you to ice. You press on. The air grows thin, and the treacherous mountain passes funnel screeching winds past your ears. A blizzard forces you to make camp for 3 days, huddling for safety while snow piles around your refuge. At last the weather clears, and you approach Stalwart under a crisp blue sky. There's a noise, high and sharp, coming from the village that sounds at first like another frozen gale. But when you top the rise and reach the village's wooden gates, you see what lies beyond them.
I love the artwork here. I love this art piece. It's gorgeous.
It's Darzier with a whole pack of them.
We can take these bastards!
Let's have a look at our stronghold events. I'm going to auto-resolve that. Crew debt. I'll pay 100, that's fine. Oh, I really want to see the drunkard. Okay, I might have to finish this quest and then we'll come back.
out! More of them by the fishery!
I like that they have cannoneers as well. That's very much like Warhammer. Grease a scout of the shockingly obese. The chanter, can't trust him.
So much for you. That's it.
Okay, the fishery. Alright, we'll go down that way then.
As you wish.
But yeah, this layout is pretty much exactly the same as like Icewind Dale when you start out in the village. Bad from the inside, okay. Look at that fucking lead belcher right there. I love that it's an actual cannon as well. I think you can get those in Pillars of Eternity 2 as well. Okay, well that did nothing. Oh, nice, plugged him.
As you wish.
So, while things are going to be nice and easy and quiet, I'd like to ask viewers as well, if they could tell me any particular games they'd like me to cover. I'd be more than happy to do so. I don't know, like in between Pillars of Eternity or anything else. The reason why is just because it's easy for my darling to follow, and of course if you guys want to break from CRPGs, that's great. Like my Pickle suggested Rayman. I don't like Rayman. It's like as a character I sort of do. The first game I don't like. It's just a very difficult game, and it requires way more patience than I've got. The thing is like I can't really actually complain about anything it does as such. It's just a very tight platformer that requires a lot more coordination than I can give it. Rayman Origins would be pretty good, Rayman Legends would be pretty good. Those games have got a flow to them, they've got a beat. And I suppose original Rayman did as well. But no, it's not for me. Medieval was another idea. It's like, I like Medieval, but I don't know if I could sit through that. Oh, okay. You're the one Reningil sent for. She'll want to speak with you. Her house is just up the way, next to Graf's Forest. So it got major positive reputation in Stalwart.
Katie's house is burning!
Hurry! They're both in there!
As you wish.
Help! The hut's coming down!
Okay. I'm gonna send Ida, he'll have the best constitution and whatnot. Crouch down to avoid the smoke. From just ahead for the hump. Run past. Sprints forward. Okay. Stop and examine the situation to the... Where's the... Yeah. I'll use the pry bar. Okay, so the woman is free and can now be moved. Turn away to help the man. I'll try and help the man with the flames. Flames skull it. Okay, I'll carry the woman out. I'll try and help the man. Okay, so the unconscious woman is out.
Thank the gods you saved her.
I was sure that thing was coming down and taking your friend with it. At least you got Katie out when you did. As for poor Lugolda, you look like you could use a drink. Take this over to Hayfricks and have one on me. So, we can only save one of them. And the man was alive. And yeah, probably not the best thing to do, leaving the poor chap alive. Being engulfed by the flames, but
Well,
yeah.
fresh fish, freshly caught. Effigy's eyes! It looks at me! Ah!
I like as well the condensation on the character's breaths there. That's very clever. Nicely done. A dozen pairs of scorpion eyes stare at you, okay. I'll sit through the search scraps. There's a scarred head. Poke the head. We'll pull it out. Okay, you begin to lift up the barrel. Nice to have a leaf in your grasp. Oh, fuck it still. So, okay! This, is going to be a companion. Man left of the barrel stands facing you, standing nearly naked save for a loincloth and drizzled in fish viscera. Which might actually come in handy, given that he is, well, you'll find out soon. He is covered head to toe in scars, tears and punctures, and the thorny imprints of lashings. Most are faded like old memories. Despite that, the condition of this man's body is remarkable. The drooping of skin at his flanks and elbows is the only evidence of his advanced age. His face is placid, but the rest of him appears prepared for anything.
You must forgive Zawa. I was not expecting you.
Zawa, I apologize. Not Zahua. What were you doing in the barrel?
Resting my eyes, I thought. Waiting for the Malkachoa to bring me insight. It would seem I dozed. A good thing my master was not alive to see it. Are you real?
Lie, no. Lie, yes.
Of course. I meant no offense. But I find it is best to ask when Malkachoa is involved. A small
Malkachoa?
white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap.
Ah, yeah, snowcap hallucinogenic mushroom. We know of one student who was on it.
It can reveal the true nature of many things.
Aha, yeah, so I'm told. You have a master, you said.
A teacher, not an owner. Zawa is a free man. Well, as free as any of us. I was freeing myself from vanity. Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish?
Hard to argue with that.
I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far.
He smiles at a woman whose head is swiveled towards him as she passes by, a look of revulsion on her face. Distracted, her toe catches on a stone and she nearly falls on her face. He claps his hands together.
Yes, quite pleased.
Those scars from battle?
From battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies.
Points to pose, but critical.
These were struck against fear. These against pleasure. These against hatred. Those down there against greed and doubt. And these were for vanity. I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable. I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone.
Your wounds must have caused you to suffer greatly.
Of course, I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither, but to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements. Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us, their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel.
Do you often smear yourself with fish?
Gods, no. What a way to travel the world. The usual way is to smear yourself with the ashes of the dead. But they do not burn their dead here, so I have to make do with what the land provides. The cold seems to conquer the smell. Even now, the scent hides itself. Disappointing.
Just want to talk about something here. If you notice the portrait in the character model, we'll see more closely when we're in the inventory screen. And those personality and whatnot, he is pretty much essentially like one massive nod to Ilmater or Ilmater. What was he called now? The punished god, I think he's known as. The crying god, the one who endures, the rack-broken god. He's a willing sufferer. He takes the pain so others don't have to, and he ascended to godhood because of his essential willingness to take the pain that others could not, and many of his followers flagellate themselves. A lot of them become monks because of the pain that they can endure in close quarters combat, and we'll learn more about Zaho soon.
I was visiting a monastery not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left.
Oh god, you haven't met the courier, have you? God, I don't want to go through that again. Is it fucking Ulysses? Even his fucking audio books with the bearable.
He carried a call for aid.
Bearable, more like.
Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zawa is no longer young.
Zawa,
Combat, he is
Zawa.
still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go.
Star would hire me as well.
I would not say I am hired. I seek no wage, and I promise no result. I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from walking it. And this fortress, this Durgan's battery, its people are gone. Zawa would know why.
If you seek the White Forge as well, I could use your help. I could use that from experienced warrior.
If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together in this moment because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zawa to argue? I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so.
Let's spin away. We'll get rid of her.
May well watch your step.
Yeah, whatever. Right, we'll have Zoa join the party. Let's first of all level up Sagani. Your knowledge of experience in stealth is going to be immensely useful. Oh, what else can we have? More accuracy to wounding shot. Nice. Or merciless companion. Ah, it's sneak attack damage, I don't need that. Actually, I'm gonna go for that. 6% accuracy because... yeah, I've got a hunting bow, but there's other... In fact, let's just go for the hunting bow. Because I've got other bows as well. Let's improve your athletics. In fact, no, let's improve your stealth. Now I can go for other things as well. Oh, bloody hell, we've got a lot here. Revive companion. Once per rest. Like, my companion's not really dying, so... I'm not entirely sure about that. Modes. Binding roots, 5 per rest. What's the point of that? 5 per rest. Take down. Per rest. Like, just do 1 per encounter, maybe. Range attacks bounce 1 time. 50% defensive bond. Binding roots will be good though. There we go. So Zoa, if we open up our inventory page there, notice actually doesn't have any real armor. But yeah, he very much looks like someone who has seen a lot of combat. So you can either be a fist fighter or use weapons. That's the, oh, and he has something called wounds.
Zawa is ready.
So the way monks work in Pillars of Eternity is, and you'll see this in the gameplay itself, basically, as they take attacks, they take something called wounds, and as they build up the wounds, it's a resource they can use to punch enemies back. So it requires 1 wound to do this. So exploits an enemy, and you do additional crush damage and yeah, so you basically just like a cone attack, sort of like a straight line attack. So let's level him up. Let's improve his athletics. So we can choose 2 things now. Modification of the soul. He inflicts, oh, so he takes damage to get his wounds up. So he does some damage to himself to gain a wound, or lesser wounds. Lowers the monk's wound threshold, allowing him to gain, him or her to gain wounds faster. Why don't you say there? Allowing them to gain wounds faster. Just something that I know, I've talked about this before, but like it just annoys me in RPGs sometimes where like they have this gendered language where it doesn't really matter. I'll improve his survival as well. And yeah, maybe your mechanic skill as well. And now we can go for other things as well. Move speed would be good. Force of Anguish. A powerful attack not a target back a significant distance if the target attack is successful. Target bumps others out of the way and bounces them off hard surfaces, like walls, before ending up prone. That's kind of cool. Swift Strikes. The monk's hands become a frenzied blur of attacks, increasing their attack rate for a brief period. Turning Wheel. The monk is able to channel physical pain into pure energy and redirect it to his or her attackers. While the monk has wounds, he or she adds proportional fire bonus to damage. So you can do +5 burn damage. So you can literally set your fist on fire and punch that. That's my monk impression. Yeah. So, there's some good abilities. I'm going to go for Swift Strikes. Being able to just punch more is always a good thing. In a real-time game, you absolutely need to take the initiative and get as much stuff in as you possibly can. I'll keep his points. Let me open the door. Because as far as I'm aware, they can actually cast spells. Lightning strikes. Modify swift strikes. Modifies it so you also do shock damage as well, which is pretty cool. What else is there? Yeah. So I'm going to increase his accuracy with unarmed attacks by 6. So, because it's unarmed, these are the sort of things that you can use as well. So like quarterstaves, hatchets he uses, spear you could probably use, but I'm going to go for unarmed. I don't know how effective unarmed is going to be. Imagine a bit more, like base level. Soul Mirror. 50% chance to reflect range attacks. So if someone shoots you, you can catch the arrow and launch it back at them. Which is pretty cool. Stunning Blow. Clarity of Agony. Ends thing. I like this idea of reducing the duration of hostile effects. So rather than just reducing the damage outright, you're actually making it last a shorter amount of time. It's a really good idea for damage mitigation that I've not really seen done in another game before. I'm gonna go for that one. A 50% chance. If you've got an archer constantly shooting at you, you pretty much have a good chance each attack to reflect their attacks back at them. So, stealth. Modification of the soul. No, I don't think I need that. Or what else? Snake's reflexes. Body control. Just trying to think if there's anything for unarmed attacks here. Deflection, 12 defense. Weapon and shield. Unstoppable, body control. Penetrating shot now. These are all modal. Interrupting blows, that would be good. Quite thematic as well. Two-handed style. Two-handed weapon. While using a weapon in each hand. Dangerous implements. It would be kind of cool if, like, fists were considered implements. And Venom Strike. They don't have anything. That's not good. Two-weapon style. That'd be... Let's just actually have a look. Pillars of Eternity. Two-weapon style and armed. It's the first result that comes up. Okay. Unarmed monk fists are affected by two-weapon style, so you get the increased attacks, so it's very useful. Okay. Single weapon style works with the shield equipped, but not with fists. Oh, fist plus shield. Shield style would though. I'm just going to double check this because I really want to go for that. Yeah, so it does work apparently. Two-weapon style. So, while using a weapon in each hand, apparently, these are weapons. So I'm going to go for that and increase my attack speed massively. Hold on to my points. What I've got now, rooting pain. Generates a shockwave around the monk each time he or she gains a wound, inflicting a small amount of damage and possibly calling an interrupt on all enemies in the area of effect. Nice. There's a lot here to look at. I love monks. They're awesome. Summer weapon, long pain fists. When one activates the long pain, his or her fists become capable of predicting powerful attacks over a long range. I think I could do with something that's actually going to use my wound abilities. Just excuse me. Stun. Costs 2 wounds, that costs... It doesn't actually use any wounds. So, yeah, if I push the target back, I'll go for that. Athletics. Survival. What else have I got? Shock damage wouldn't be too bad. Trying to think if there's anything else I could do. Two-handed style. Okay, that doesn't seem to apply. So what else can I go for? There's been a few other things. Interrupting blows, yeah. Oh, level up again, right. It's on to that. Let's have a look. Every time I get wounds... no, I'm going to go for Sting Blow again. That one. Turning wheel, move speed. Oh, hang on. Really critical hit stars, targets become weakened. Mind and Constitution, just for 2 moves, just for 1. I'm gonna go for that actually, yeah. Let's really bring the enemy, weaken the enemy where we can.
What is it?
Am I just allowed to just leave this place? Return to Kanua.
As you wish.
That's the fishery. We will come back and properly explore, but... Okay. With my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what? Start with nothing and leave with less. The attack of the ogres has hurt everyone. Hurt. Don't make me mistake me for one of them. I carry more on my back than tinder and pelts. Well, good riddance. Should never have settled here in the first place. Some things you mean to leave behind. Come to find you packed them away where. I'm not leaving it to recover what's mine. Can't deny me again, not after this. The sweet tongue priests took my heirlooms. Bury the memory of my past, he said. I don't even know. I don't even have that. I take it you gave something of yours to one of Undra's gift bearers. You're quick. Wish I had those wits when they stroke of peace and redemption in the eyes of the goddess. Those priests, Undra's dogs, said the goddess would forgive, that some things are best left forgotten. Their leader laughter, I believe the words. Another one of them, a gift bearer, took my medallion. Another would tell me where it is. The problem is that you give meanings to meaningless objects. Here, let me show you something. I need one of your rings. So, flicks it into the lake. See? You are no worse off. Okay then. Why won't they tell you? Because they think they know better, that's why. That it was the only way I'd forget. What did you want to forget about your past? That was a different life. Better days until... It's my burden to bear, not yours. I thought to cast it away, but the memories I lost are all the wrong ones. What else did you get the priest? You understand its value, my armor. It's finer than I've ever seen. A worthless stone old dwarf. I'd have traded it for the medallion, but the fool I gave them both. Respond better to attack than tirades. Sharp metal always used to win me arguments, but I see your point. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it's sacred duty to cast the offerings to the goddess in some place where they'll be forgotten. Better to find where they drop them, I think. What's left us rolling all this? At least that group of crows took over the temple as folks started to leave. Came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery. They say about this medallion you want to go recover. Belonged to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her, but to me, she was the last of my family. At least that still acted like family to me. I don't expect luck to grace me now, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. Okay. I'll quickly head back to Tundra. Hopefully it only takes 24 hours rather than 3 days. Just see the things here. And then could have done the fight as well.
Keeps coming.
It's a slaver from Red Cirrus. This will be interesting. Have you seen the amount of health that our monk has cost? Well, 208 points. 208. I suppose you need them. Meat points. Where's the drunkard? Oh, okay, I'll pay it off. Right. So recently, what's on council? Ah, at last. I'm glad you're here, my lord. My name is Sol. I have a matter of some importance to discuss if you have the time. I'll cut to the meat of it. I have a dozen orphan slaves imported to Guerrera. Good, healthy stock that will fetch a fine price and extra metal if I can get a ship up the coast. That's the tricky part. I haven't got the coin to stock a ship for the whole journey, not without docking at the Deerwood port along the way and running the risk of having my goods seized. Really, these Deerwood laws are completely impractical for any honest merchant rolling outside of Defiance Bay. I hoped you could be of some assistance. You're not originally from the Deerwood, I hear, so surely you understand. So. This is good. Euripius. I want you to head down to Carrera and see if you can free those slaves. I would love to. Gives me something to do with my hands while I plot to this man's painful death. Aravis will be busy for 5 days. I can lie to him. I need some time to look into the matter. Return to Guerrera, I will send a word. Of course, I appreciate taking the time. I'll await your letter. Yes.
Well,
I would hang him, but I'd rather him leave with disgrace. The slave trade will be a lot less reputable.
better indeed.
Reputable. Rather. I might need to build some stuff, don't I? Let's rebuild the chapel. Stalls. So let's return to the village. And help the people out.
Hard living in a place like this. It's a wonder anybody stayed at all.
So yeah, guys can think of any other RPG games you might want me to play, then I'm all ears. I might even actually have a go at Vampire, or Vampire. That could be good. Because Vampire the Masquerade 2 Bloodlines is released in the gameplay trailer and I've watched it. Ah, the adventurer saved the village. So good of you to come and visit my humble wagon. I am Udir. How's business? Ah, poor like this place. Not much coin to be made in trading of flowers and fish. I came to the White March because I assumed there would be no competition, and I have none, but because there's something to compete out over here. If you're not making any money out here, why do you stay? I was rather vocal about my inevitable success with friends and family. If I gave up a return with little more than I have left, then... Oh, I won't be like that. I'm not giving up yet. Okay. We went to Whale's Eyes. This grey cloak is covered in the multitude of starlight eyes, symbols the word called whale. There was a Gorin, okay. Bison never might evoke whale's protection. Yeah, this is quite clever. But nothing remains of his work. Very clever indeed. Ultimate hat have alluring protection. Okay. Ruffic Watch Cloak Mark II. +2 enemies needed to be flanked. +2 perception. Another follower of Whale. He was often hired as a bodyguard and courier because of his size and strength, yet he was a quiet man and developed a habit of walking with his head bowed in prayer. Because of this, would-be thieves had frequently attempted to waylay him. Ruffic was blessed by the god of secrets. With uncanny foresight, he dodged and parried those sudden attacks and slew his assailants, staring their eyes into his cloak. He intended it as a warning, but also as a challenge. Eventually he discarded this cloak and wore a simpler, subtler garment in its place. The sight of a dark cloak with shimmering, shifting eyes became infamous among bandits on the highway. I like that a lot. Nice story behind it as well. I like that they tell the story of how these items ended up in other people's possession. Gauntlets of accuracy. There is some nice stuff here. But I'm not going to buy any. Oh, actually, I will buy these. I'll buy all your crafting materials as well. And then I will open the stash. Really? That's only worth 5 copper pieces? Something that I think that's waiting for an enchantment. So what's all these? Yeah. Regarding the new vampire trailer though, the dialogue system looks bad. Yeah, it's like it doesn't look. The gameplay doesn't look that great either. It's like I'm really genuinely not trying to bash it, but my god, it's so uninspired in places. It really is. No word of a lie. And like some of the stuff they're trying to do, I get the idea of. But otherwise, it's just not good. Yeah, I remain unimpressed by it, I'm afraid to say. I don't think I need to bother changing that then, but there's something here. So, defense and concentration. And you. That's not too bad. Boots. Unusable by a paladin. Okay. You haven't got any rings though, have you? Grants dominate. I'm gonna give those to our other friend. Boots gonna be worn by a paladin. Okay, fine. Oh yeah, any new armor? So DR is the same. Stun duration, knockdown duration. Defense. It's not bad. I need to know more about monks before I... What about this one? That's male armor. No, that's definitely going to benefit you. Yeah then. Let's try and understand. So, oh mind you, his defenses are quite good. His fortitude is really high. Reflex. Damage reduction of 3. So he's not exactly a tank, but he's okay for health. He's really good for health. Okay, his punches are doing 19 to 25 damage. Eddie's doing 70 to 25. I'm doing 40 to 21. Khaled's doing 29 to 40, but he has got a gun. 16 to 24, so he's actually doing really well. He's holding his own with just his fists. Yeah. Okay, let's see how you fare in combat. Mind you, your damage reduction is pretty low. The lowest of every other class, so... but how do wounds work? This is what I need to know now. How do... your wounds work?
Zawa is ready.
Like, you getting more wounds per attack, or... Yeah, so this is the thing, it's not really... It's gonna tell me that much. I don't know where to find information on monks. Ah, I know where. If you go into Encyclopedia, should be a part of classes, I would have thought. Okay, statistics, no. Combat mechanics. Law? Deities. Applications, tips. Yes, I come really far. No, I just thought it was determined by difficulty. It's alright. No. Oh, I have notes page as well, so I can make my own notes. Got that. So,
What is it?
let's get going. Who's this house? This house. Let's go to the temple first. Solve all the quests here. So yeah, so the gameplay, like, it looks a bit like Dishonored. Hey, but that's a game I might play, because that's quite fun. Poster.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really... Oh.
I get that reaction a lot. That's
My
working.
ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit.
Not a bad tool if it can work.
My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
Maybe I do have a strong soul.
I suppose that's possible. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, unfortunately.
No offense taken. What are you looking for?
I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Pargrin dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype. Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere. I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since.
I like that my scientist background is going into that. I'll do it, but there's a good discovery.
At last, a kindred spirit. I'll be sure to mention you in my account. Here, I just have to adjust the device. It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device. Thanks ever so much for this.
No worries. Yeah, so the gameplay looks a bit like Dishonored. But it's so jagged in places, it really is like janky. Like some of the hits don't quite properly connect before the animations happen. And all the rest of it. So it's a bit funky. It looks okay though, but it's like the dialogue system I don't like. It's that system where you say so, you choose a dialogue option, and it does the opposite of what people say. I know people bring up The Wolf Among Us, and they say like you choose the option to glass someone in a bar. It says glass him, and you take a glass and hit someone over the head with it. And I don't know why, but like people don't know that to glass someone means to hit them over the head with a glass. Well, bottling as well, it's now. To glass someone or to bottle them is take them over the head with a glass bottle. So yeah, anyway. But yeah, it's that sort of system. Andra welcomes you into her embrace. Also, as well, they think they're clever by having their own narrator. I don't like the narrator. I don't like narrators as such in Baldur's Gate and Divinity, but that's something that Larian are probably not going to change. And that said, you know, I do narrate a lot of the stuff here that's read out. But there's some stuff where it's like, my character can figure this out myself. I don't need to be told, oh, he's lying. Something's off, he's lying. It's like, yeah, I knew that. It's weird. And the voice acting as well is not particularly impressive. Like, Fire seems okay. But, yeah. If you just suffer with compassion. We're here to ease the pain of your past. ready to take your burdens. If you let the goddess help with your hardships, of course. Talk about Andra. Andra is the goddess of redemption. Deep like an ocean and gentle as a mother. She is here to relieve her children of their darkest burdens. We came here to aid the villagers, to heal the souls, the wounds of the past that fester in their souls. I thought Andra was the goddess of loss and mourning and of redemption. That's a common notion. Others may believe so, but the goddess's mysteries are profound. Her true power lies in redeeming your loss and regret. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? Oh, no, brother gift bearers. Gift bearers do Andra's most valued work. They carry the material burdens of the unfortunate souls into her embrace, so that the goddess may help them forget. I want to ask you about Okran's heirloom. Dwarf already asked. We gave him the counsel he needed. Slight irritation sharpens her tone. She seems to catch herself, modulating her voice back to a pleasant timbre. And naturally, we'll do what we can for you too. Ask what you will. Okran wants his medallion back. She brings her hands forward together and nods. Ah, Okran. How often we let the shadows of the past become the burden even to others. Oh, it's no burden. Just give me the amulet. That medallion, it weighs on Okran's mind. You're kind to help, but what he really needs is to cast away those memories. He's changed his mind. As a priest, you must listen. I listened to him. Such dark memories, so much regret. We took on his burdens for its good and for the good of the village. His belongings, his past, now rest in Andra's realm, to be forgotten so that the wounds of the soul may heal. This is the will of the goddess. I'm going to use my law skill. A scientist. Prove it. I don't let superstition get in the way of logic. I'm going to go with that. Law. But scientist. Because I am a priest myself, so I can't really go for that as such. But yeah. But that is a very powerful line. More than you realise in this setting yet. This is something we'll come back to later. Put that in your pocket. It'll be useful in Act 3 or 4. Law 7. Her will flows in the tide. Maybe Okram still needs the medallion to discover how to forget. As if in search for an answer, she nods. You're well versed in the intricacies of our faith. No use in hiding anything from someone like you. There's no need to quarrel over the mysteries of a goddess will. I'll tell you what you wish to know. Okran's heirloom was taken by Ixtili, chosen gift bearer among us, to be cast away as an offering to Andra. Only he knows where. You could ask him yourself, he's on a trek to the mountains of Durgan's Battery. If you run into Ixtili, tell him he has urgent duties to attend here. It's hard to believe that the only gift bearer knows what Andra's offering is to cast away. Is it? Our goddess frees us from the earthly burdens. It's best if only one of us knows where they are taken, lest we all end up suffering under the same weight. Tell me about your gift bearer. Italy had business near Durgan's Battery. Those mountains are dangerous. If you insist on carrying out this request of Okran's, then that's where I'd search for answers. Who are you? I've got nothing to say for you. So we left if you must. It would be. Okay, it's considered theft to steal from you. That's fine. So yeah, it's a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline Tale, and I'm not trying to bash it. I want to be optimistic for it, but it's like, it's already gone through one developer. And the developer that we have making that game now isn't particularly inspiring optimism. They've made great games, but they're not making a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines game. They can absolutely make a vampire game, I fully believe that. We've had plenty of visual novels, but is that what we want more of? Not really now. Not in my opinion. I want a proper Bloodlines game, and I'm not confident the Chinese room can do that. Okay, As you step outside, the wooden door of the temple slams shut behind you. You hear someone barring it from the other side. It sounds like the priests have engaged in an agitated conversation. You get the sense they are discussing you, but you also sense that I'll just go there then. Okay, pour some oil on the latch. You do that? Hope the mountains will do it. What if it's... It suddenly cuts as if the man was speaking to all sides of the room. Posey tells them instead. What then? Why would he? And with all those dangers near the battery, our gift bearer won't delay. I expect that... The man interrupts us. You always expect. Look where that's taken as a dying village. Ogres at the walls. His voice content drops and seethes, muffling what he has to say. Do you think I wanted this? That I could have known in advance? We can't wait for him. We must fish out the last barge quickly. After that, we'll decide. You only distinguish the last words, and I rustled wood pond. I'll go. Okay. Sounds interesting. Let's go inside the fishery and see what's here. So it seems as though this temple is not quite as it seems.
Ah,
Back to work,
now
everyone.
we can
No time
all
for
free
dallying.
ourselves from vanity.
A fine thing you reached us when you did. They would have burned the fishery next, mark my words. And the last thing this lot needs is another excuse to knock off early.
I can't imagine why they'd be in any hurry. Maybe for a hot soak, the nice hot springs, or a walk along the lake. Nice place.
Anyway, excuse the mess. If there's something you need, the clerk can get you sorted. Just watch your step if you have a mind to look around. The floors are slick and none too pleasant to fall on. Been running it 4 decades now. Reckon I can tell you what you want to know.
Well, it seems like a big operation.
It may stink of fish guts, but there's no place more critical to stalwart survival. Herds come and go, so there's seasons when our catch sustains the village. But try telling these folk as much. We go home each day covered to the elbows in fish oil and entrails, reeking of our work.
Charming.
Stalwart's shrinking, but it would disappear if we lost the fishers. I drive them hard, but I can't afford to do otherwise.
What do you do
Just
here?
about everything. I track the day's catches and see that our nets and hooks are in working order. My family's been in charge of the fishery since the early days of Stalwart. I know the best spots to find frost dive or an iron-toothed pike, and I make sure we don't overfish the speckleback.
That's all I'm
Anything
missing.
else?
That's the clerk. I wasn't expecting anyone to come by the fishery for a while. Guess that's the proper way to go about it, really. Carry on like it's business as usual. Can I get you anything? Let's see what we have. Ring of Overseeing. I'll take that. Ivory worm figure. I could, but I'm not going to. It's all theft if I do that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so the Vampire the Masquerade trailer. It's like, it's fine. It's fine. But Right, Tana's house. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, so... But it's
They
like...
gone? Have those nasty brutes finally left?
It's like, I'm not overly keen on it. It's like, and I, as I said before, it's like I know what Vampire Masquerade was like originally. I was there, but this other version like still isn't great. And the thing is, you have to iterate. You still have to do better than the original, no matter what the state of the original one is. Doesn't matter. It's 2023. We have the tech. We have the ability to make a better game. If you can't do it, why can't you do it?
I heard the ogres outside, tearing down walls and murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad. But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer. She said you don't suffer nonsense. Bet you'd whip those layabouts at the mine into shape. Did you say something, dear?
Don't be so.
Me? I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff. But I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance. Been praying to the salty wench that I don't forget too much afore they finish the job. Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
So yeah, so I've got my fingers crossed for Vampire Masquerade, but when I sound cautiously optimistic, I am far more cautious than I am optimistic. I will not be pre-ordering. There's nothing.
Destroyed the stockade, Mother. It's...
There's nothing they could do to convince me that that game's worth pre-ordering. Or even getting worked up with hype.
Enough. They're gone.
She holds up a hand, which is missing the foul joint of the ring finger. But it's a voice, sharp and steel, that silences the young man.
The deliverer of Cadnua. Thank you for making the journey. Abidan knows it's a long one. Well, I'm sure you wagered on a more civilized welcome. Still, we're much obliged for your capable intervention.
Pulls an out for his belt and an apple, and sets to work. It's an honor to be called here.
That's fine of you to say so, though I'm hoping your strengths lie more with arms than words. Stalwart isn't much more than a grease stain on a map. What roads we've got in the White March are basically tracks in the snow. And for every trader or adventurer that comes through, 3 of our own leave for good. But it weren't always so. There was a time when kings and queens sent their firstborn to these mountains, when the White March was the envy of empires.
Her eyes shine, and for an instant she looks like a much younger woman. Oh, the mighty have fallen.
The Pargrin dwarves transformed the White March once. We could bring some of that greatness back to Stalwart. But we need the White Forge.
I know of it. Law 6.
Then you'll know that no one's felt as much as a summery breeze from the White Forge for over 200 years. I'm hoping you can do something about that.
How so?
We've been trying to breach Durgan's battery for over a year now. Problem is, the other expeditions can't so much as dent the front door.
Tell me about these other expeditions.
A dozen different groups have come through at our request, and several more besides. Been hoping that one of them could clear the way through Durgan's battery. But young or old, green or seasoned, it don't seem to matter. They cast their spells, chisel at the door, and search the grounds until they've worn new treads into the old stone. The lucky ones eventually go home. Plenty more find themselves on the wrong side of a blizzard, or an ogre raiding party.
Why the sudden interest in the White Forge?
We're an old mining town. Or we were until the Adirans pulled out and left us with a half-dug mineshaft and something resembling an inn. Since then, it's been a steady decline. You've seen the roads. Isn't much we can produce that the Valians can't ship cheaper. But the White Forge... Well, if we could fire it up again and start producing Durgan steel, or something close to it, wouldn't matter if we're in the White March or the Living Lands, business would come.
And that's why you need my help.
That's the long and short of it. We're laborers and fisherfolk, not adventurers.
Okay.
But Durgan steel could put Stalwart on the map again. Open up the mines, bring in new business. We just need the White Forge.
Is Durgan steel anything like Sheffield steel? Then again, it's in the cold north, so I'd say yeah. Why is Durgan steel so special?
Because you can shave stone with it, cleave cast iron in two, and the stuff's as rare as it is remarkable.
Let's give Sheffield steel a run for its money then. If I had a suit of armor made of that, but tired to get people trying to stab you after a while and just give up.
If we could make something even half as good, we'd have a market at our doorstep and work enough for all of Stalwart.
How is it that no one's gotten into Durgan's battery yet?
Where should I start? Ogres, blizzards, or sheer damned inaccessibility? It ain't for lack of trying, I'll tell you that much. Got untold riches in Durgan steel lying just inside, and never mind the White Forge itself. The Adherans who first settled Stalwart tried to crack it. So did the Valians, and every other cocky adventurer with more metal than sense. But the place has a funny way of sealing itself up. Front door stays shut, the tower entrances are clogged with rubble, and it's been impossible to blast a way in.
What happened to Durgan's battery?
It don't bear dwelling on. There's too many superstitions about that place as it is.
Killed each other off. Or so the old books say.
Plenty of tales to go around, but none of them open the battery. And the last thing people need is another reason to fear the place.
Get to enjoy their ghost stories. But the Glenfeathers take theirs very seriously.
Whatever it was, the other Pargrin dwarven settlements in the White March, Bone Picker, the Hawk, and the rest, emptied out not long after. Moved to gentler, greener lands.
Had the right idea, if you ask me.
I don't see why you knew the White Forge to make good steel.
Finally, someone talking sense.
Durgan steel wasn't just good. It was some of the best. We need the best if we're going to keep Stalwart alive. No one alive today has seen the White Forge, but the old stories tell that it was powerful, glowed white-hot, and gave off a steady, even heat, unlike any other furnace. Let better-schooled folk puzzle over how the thing was built. I just want to see it put to use.
Tell me about the Pargrin dwarves.
Pargrin's a word in their language. Means traveler. They've been wanderers for generations, but I couldn't tell you much more.
Okay, alright. Any idea where I should begin?
The battery's up the mountain to the north. A good hike away.
Near Galvino's place, huh?
So it is. Though I was going to suggest dealing with that ogre camp before anything.
Where's Galvino?
Mestre Galvino, as the old crosspatch prefers it, lives by himself and keeps the wilder and beasts at bay through sheer foulness of his temper.
She means to say he's a skilled smith and animancer, who's lived in the shadow of Durgan's battery for over a decade.
I'd say that's worth mentioning.
And he butters his bread on both sides and fits his left shoe before his right. But that's neither here nor there.
You seem flustered all of a sudden. Did he do something to anger you?
Me and the rest of the town. He knows better than to linger at our gates.
What happened to Galvino?
Old lunatic finally went too far. And we sent word to the Valian academies. I don't like speaking on it, but if you want to get his guff, just remind him that we gave him the boot.
I see.
Ain't nobody here fond of the man, but he's a clever hand and a quick study. It's a fool who thinks he stayed so close to the battery without figuring something about it.
You said as much to the last party, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since. Maybe they didn't run afoul of Baragon's ogres after all. Just watch your step. Galvino's place is a ways east of the battery, and folk who pass it bring unsettling tales.
Tell me about the ogre camp.
Belongs to Flames That Whisper, Matron Baragon's clan. Hunters tell me they've been active of late.
Hunting elk and otherwise minding their own damn business.
Minding their own business. Never mind the latest expedition's disappearance or the broken stockade.
I'm saying we shouldn't agitate him further.
I'll gladly confront Baragan if it helps.
One less matron would make our walls safer. What's left of them, anyway. Also, Baragons like to have whatever the last expedition found. Rumor has it they disappeared near her turf.
Killing a matron will only make our problems worse. The way to approach Baragon is with your hands held high.
If anyone could parley with an ogre, I suppose it'd be you. But they aren't known for their patience with prattle.
Got it.
Good. Before you leave town, stop by the Grave's Rest. Most visitors to Stalwart spend some time there, so Hafric and his patrons may be able to give you the lay of the land.
Don't know about you, but I'm partial all of a sudden. Actually, I want to ask you about something else.
What's on your mind?
I want to know more about Stalwart.
Adir founded us back in their colonial days to supply ore to the Empire. Saw a fair bit of traffic from both sides of the White March then. But after the Deerwood claimed independence, Defiance Bay found cheaper places to get ore. Didn't have much reason to maintain our supply routes.
Is the Stalwart part of the Deerwood?
Officially. Though with the state the roads are in, you wouldn't guess it.
Tell me some of the more important places around town.
Here in the center? Let's see. The Grave's Rest is next door. Hafric can set you up with a room and a hot meal there. The fishery's just on the edge of the lake, and the Temple of Andra is next to it. No one keeps a secret like Lavda. Or so I'm told. A few folk live in this part of town, too. Seemed a lot safer before the ogres broke through the western gate. Thiersch lives next to the old mine shaft, and Tana, the old mine overseer, is next door to me.
What do you do here?
I'm the mayor, or so I'm reminded every time there's a game shortage, ogre attack, or a neighborly dispute. I'm a builder by trade, though. Traveled all over Air Glonfoth and the Deerwood in my younger days, but ended up back here anyway. What's on your mind?
Can you tell me anything about the last expedition that went to Durgan's Battery?
They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask. I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over. Wish I could tell you more.
Perhaps we'll find more in the battery itself, yes?
What's on your mind? The Pargrin dwarves guarded it like a mother bear. It's a wonder we know as much as we do. What's on your mind?
Oh well. I knew you, man.
Something else you need?
Do you know anything about Durgan Battery?
It's a fool's hope. A fantasy that's kept these parts inhabited longer than they should be. They say the Pargrunan dwarves developed Durgan steel, became powerful, rich, and then one day, they locked their doors and died. Nothing like a mystery to stir folk up. Most of Stalwart is convinced that some Pargrin secret will save us all. But that don't stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the old fortress.
Oh yeah, you said I should make peace with Matron Baragon.
About the only thing folk here haven't tried. Killing one more matron won't change things for long. Besides, her clan's flames that whisper. The one that attacked us was Wolf with many mouths. I'd know him anywhere.
They're cut from the same cloth, Aldrich. Only a matter of time before Baragon marches through that gap in our walls.
You seem to disagree with the Running Guild. Well, quite a few matters.
Mother's convinced that a magic forge will turn this frozen crack into a hub of civilization. She can't accept this place is dying.
This is your home. You can't just give up on it.
Give up on what? There's nothing here. I'm a carpenter. Mother's a builder. So it felt like a good fit at the time. Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade.
Oh well. We've got a fair bit to do. Oh, you've been looking for me. All Hefric's fault. Devil sent me to the other side of town, looking for you. Pick your nose and shake his hand. Shake his hand. Nice to meet you. I'm the captain of the militia around here. Nice to meet you. I wanted to try and catch you before you went off running at the bars. There's a few dangerous folk you might be able to look out for. Plus, if you're heading out to Longwood Falls, I thought you might pick up a thermal pearl for me. You want to find a thermal pearl for you? That's the thing. I already found it. I just need someone else to go out and get it. Saw it in the hot springs near Longwood Falls. Would have grabbed it myself, but that's when I looked around and saw the Legovath. So filthy, 50 of them. I would have fought, but I started to wonder what the rest of Stalwart would do without me, so I ran. For the sake of the village, of course. How very Caiaphas Cain of you. But it's a thermal pearl anyway. They form in the hot springs, something to do with the minerals in the water. Smell kind of funny, but they're full of minerals. Just have to crumble them into a pint. Let's see. Like I said, the pearls are one of the thermal pools. Probably too hard to find. Tell you what, there's Longwood Falls. It's east of Stalwart. Got some nice views of the valley, but most folk avoid it these days. Plenty of wilder nearby, and it only takes a few inches of snow to block the pass. If you're heading other way, I suggest talking to Thirsk. He might have something to help you deal with the Legovath. That's all I need to know. It's about Thirsk's place before you leave town. It's the house next to the mines. He's a veteran hunter who knows the wilds better than anyone. Still a lot of dangerous folk in the wilderness. We get our fair share of crazes out here. Most of them, and even from the village. But the latest groups I've heard were of the Gleaming Society and the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull. But a running guild has set aside some bounty money to see these two lawmakers were taken care of. You bring me the heads of their leaders, and I'll give you a payment. I want to know more about the Gleaming Society. Crazy pack of radicals that want to topple governments and kill the wealthy. Makes the poor defense bay look like a good fight. Do care fair, the regent of Red Surus declared them both illegal, which is probably the only thing those two would agree on. Anyway, check where Longwood Falls to the east. That's where they're last seen. Who leads the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull? That'll be Metzler. All of the members of the Sisterhood worship Arath by sending as many folks to the wheel as they can. They've been poking around Durgan's battery. Will only knows why. But you can understand why no one but here was pleased to hear about it. Passed through town recently, didn't stay long, but they stopped at the Temple of Antra. Well, it's left her, if not to know that then. If you come across them, be careful. They're unpredictable. Okay. So got some bounties. Nice.
It must be soon. 2 days, no more. Sorry. Didn't hear you come in. My ears aren't what they used to be.
Are you hurt?
Wasn't the ogres, I can tell you that. Put a few arrows in one of those and they generally have the good sense to back off. But I've been hunting this wolf for near a year now. A man-eater. Cunning, nasty thing. Every time I get close, it just slips away. The beast has already claimed many lives. The first victim was my son, Saldrin.
Go on.
Got the better of me this last time. Distracted me long enough for one of its kin to turn up. Nearly bit me clean in half. I'm a few weeks out from trying again.
You said this thing is a wolf.
No ordinary wolf. A monster. This creature is big. And I see the signs it leaves behind. The mess it made to the last couple of hunters and the elk. Doesn't always finish its meals. Damn thing might be sick. Might have a bullet in its jaw. Something. In any case, it needs to be put down.
Where can I find this piece?
It roams the russet wood out to the west. Seems to have decided the lake is a good place to find prey. Yeah. It's picked off some scattered ogres from time to time. But mostly it's been going after hunters.
Okay, but how, friend?
Travelers. It needs doing. But I warn you, this beast is not to be trifled with. It must make its lair somewhere to the west. If you mean to go there, keep your wits about you. Watch yourself on the mountain. In these lean times, everything looks like prey to something.
Just who are you?
I'm Thiersch.
Thiersch.
I've lived here long enough that Kith have started calling me the Old Hunter. And that's about all I can say for myself. Coming to your elders for advice, is it? What can I do for you?
Teodor said I should talk to you before I head to Longwood Falls. Good thing you did. Hot springs north of the road are crawling with lack of faith. I'm surprised Teodor found himself up there. The thing to know about Lagafeth is they're fast. To learn to call too, so try another angle of attack. These will come in handy. Use them if you got them. If you get in trouble. Though if I'm being honest, I'd say those beasts are still going to be a challenge for you. I know you held your own against the ogres, but these might be wise to wait for a spell before taking on the Lagafeth. You can tell me about Stalwart.
Well, I can tell you it won't be here much longer if things go on as they are. With the mines closed, we've lost what put us on the map in the first place. We're losing people every month. Too many mouths to feed and not enough to support them. Even the game's dwindling. I've been lucky. I've hides and horns enough to keep the traders happy, but now the ogres are picking the rest of us off.
What can you tell me about the ogres? Only that they've been going in by force again and again, trying to drive us out or kill us outright.
The moment we started looking into Durgan's battery, it was like we'd kicked a hornet's nest. You made a good showing against that last group. Didn't expect you'd be one of the godlike. But then, if anyone was going to turn up here at the ass end of nowhere to save our hides...
Why is the hunting so poor?
It's been a colder season than usual, and the elk herds aren't faring well. We're stuck fighting with the ogre clans and the wolves over what's left. Not to mention the occasional beast. We've lost a lot of young hunters.
Has legacy struck Stalwart as well?
It has. We had some hope in the early days that we'd be spared, isolated as we are. That hope died in a hurry. Not everyone's been so unlucky, of course. You'll see a few pampered sprats around.
Treating them like precious stones won't see them grow up any faster at all. If at all. Let's have some interesting hunting stories. I love swapping tales. Anyone have a pipe?
Long hours checking snares and waiting out elk, mostly. Used to hunt some of the big ones. Bear, stelgare. But up here, it comes down to necessity. Which means keeping Stalwart fed, or else keeping it safe. Thing is, the last hunt didn't go so well, as you can see.
Okay. So after this particular wolf as well. So as you can probably tell, this is quite a combat-heavy expansion. It's also split into two parts as well. So we don't actually need to do part 2 immediately after this. Let's see if we can get back into the temple.
Huh, that's what I get for asking directions in the middle of nowhere.
Hello?
Say, I don't suppose you've seen any mysterious old buildings in the mountains lately, have you?
You mean Dagon's Battery?
No, but I've heard that name a lot around here. I'm looking for the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. It's an obscure temple dedicated to Andra.
Why are you looking for the Abbey?
I'm a gift bearer. My job is to gather tokens of things people want forgotten and surrender them to the Lady of Lament. Best place to do that is the Abbey of the Fallen Moon.
Gift bearers usually dispose tokens in the sea. What are you going to the moon, Abby?
Well, you throw some things into the sea, and maybe they wash up on shore one day. But you want something really good and forgotten. You take it to the Abbey.
What kind of tokens do you take?
Anything that represents a moment or a memory someone wishes to leave behind. Well, love notes, awkward family heirlooms, bad poetry, the kinds of things you want to forget.
Scripts to screenplays. So, what are you taking to the Abbey now?
The Abbey's all about forgetting. Wouldn't be much forgetting if I told you about it, would there? I might be here a while. Half the villagers have never heard of the Abbey, and the ones that have, no one knows where it is. So I'm trying to think of this as an extended holiday in a remote mining village that smells like fish.
I just want to say I love this voice actor. She's brilliant. I've got business in the region. We could roll together.
You won't regret it. I've got a lovely singing voice.
I great sense of humor.
I like her already.
So, now, barbarian. But who to get rid of? So, this is a really sort of Sigarni's thing, but I'm gonna hire you. So that's all you up, because you're a barbarian. Woo! You're gonna have to excel the smile for us, I think. Loving the armor as well. Nice. So, barbaric blow, full attack, area of effect. From Carnage. Just fix it. What is Carnage?
Lead the way. Tell me.
Carnage. Passive. The barbarian's attacks become so forceful as to impact others around the target enemy. For every successful melee attack, the barbarian makes reduced damage to all enemies. Okay, so it's an AoE. So when they attack one person, the damage goes to others. Okay. Barbaric blow? Or... yeah, +5 accuracy. Not bad. I could go for Frenzy, Savage Defiance, Blooded, or Wild Sprint. 3 per rest I don't like the idea of. Frenzy is fun. Savage Defiance. Generating health, yes, absolutely. Next. Stalwart Defiance. Bonus to all defenses, yes, I'll go for that. Survival again. Bloodlust. Increasing his or her speed temporarily in battle once down to at least 2 enemies. It's a bit risky. It's good, but it's like it needs to be kills. Blooded. Attack fortitude instead of deflection if fortitude is lower. Oh, that's really good, yeah. Survival again. Barbaric blow. Offensive. 2-weapon style. So attack speed is increased. Survival. 1 stands alone. 2 enemies need to flank. Does more damage when flanked. Damage reduction, that's good. Bloodthirst. After killing an enemy, barbarians recover his wave to line to attack immediately. Okay, so when they kill someone, they get to attack immediately afterwards. What is it? Thick-skinned. Damage reduction is good. Ooh. Barbarians' mere presence becomes so intimidating as to fill all enemies with nauseating dread, as long as the barbarian is stationary. Enemies nearby are sickened. All attributes are reduced by 1, fortitude and will are reduced by 10. Not bad at all, actually. But I'm gonna go for that one. Let's improve your athletics. Is that a hatchet or a knight? Axe. Is it a battle axe? Do I even need that anyway? Savage attack, that's modal. Blows, vulnerable attack, pretty short, bloody slaughter. I'll go with Barbarian Blow, why not? And yeah. Barbaric Shout, 2 per rest. Enemies are terrified. Vengeful Defeat. Exacts a final revenge when the barbarian reduced to 0, causing him to attack a full carnage attacks against everyone at range. It's everyone at range, hopefully that's just foe AoE. Applies effect. Weapons, primary attack. All equipped weapons or with a primary. So not bad. Frenzy, I'm gonna have like my extra nice ability. Yes. 220 health. Wow.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Lots of stuff there. Door's bad. Okay. Let's go to the end. I failed. Man startles visibly at the sight of you, but he attempts to hide it with a queasy smile with godlike ness.
Say, you're the one we have to thank for fighting off the ogres, right? Never thought I'd see one of the god-touched. I would have helped fight them monsters off, you know, if I didn't think I'd just get in the way. And with you there to handle things, everything turned out well enough, didn't it? Don't see why Havrick's still sour at me.
What's this about Havrick?
Oh, Havrick's the innkeeper over at the Grave's Rest. I may have been hiding in the inn when the fighting started. The raid didn't improve his disposition any. Did you know he has a whole case of Fenlin liquor in there? I keep offering to buy it off him, but he says he's saving it up for when the battery's open again. As if we're gonna last that long. Anyhow, he said he'd thrash me up and down the mountain if I didn't leave him be.
What's so special about this stuff?
They say a single drop changes your life. You'll never want to have a drink of anything else. Probably that's all rubbish, but it's supposed to be very good. It's delusional is what it is. Point of fact, what with you dealing with ogres and everything, maybe you'd, you know, be willing to help me out.
Oh, bravo. Subtle indeed.
Averick keeps all the good stock in the inn cellar. Out of sight, you see. I mean, it's bound to be under lock and key, but I'm sure he wouldn't miss a single bottle. Not with everything that's going on.
What does stealing wine for you have to do with fighting ogres?
Well, Averick can be a little intimidating when it comes to his beverages. But otherwise, not much, I guess.
And what do I get out of this?
I'll pay you for it. I swear it. We'll split my wages. And the bottle, too, if you like. I just want to be able to say these lips have tasted the best the Ishamael Blades have to offer.
We'll see. I have other questions in the meantime.
Oh, sure. What can I... Sure, ask away. Not sure what I can tell you, though. I haven't been here half as long as most.
Who are you?
Me? Well, I used to build houses. These days I do this and that. Get work at the fishery sometimes, mending nets. Right now I'm helping with the stockades. The ogres keep us busy. I'm from Ina's Rest originally. Not so far from your Cadnua, actually. A little ways east. Nice lake nearby. A little like the one here. I heard some business went down with Lord Radric. Might have ended up tithing to you instead if I were still there, my lord.
You're gonna tell me about the stalwart.
Truth is, I couldn't care less about the town, or the mines. But I like the people. Hardy bunch, living up here in the cold. Shame most of them have packed up. Feels like everything's conspiring to chase us out of here sometimes. Just means the ones of us that are left are the most stubborn-headed, right? Or foolish.
That's all the questions I had.
Anything else, then?
Oh well. So, we could steal the liquor. But, no.
I am hungry enough to eat an entire person. Do they serve human flesh in these lands? Or is it one of those progressive nations?
Ooh, still can't feel my fingers. Thought I'd found shelter when I stumbled across this little village. Guessing you did too, huh?
Her raises a frosty mug to you. Even through the warmth of the harm, she reaches her hands are wrapped in wheel, and her ears muffled by her hat. Her face has the torn, twinned, weather-beaten look of someone who has recently come off the road.
As much blood as there was in the streets, I'm lucky the ale's still flowing.
She takes a drink, and as she tilts her head back, you see a wet leopard bruise purpling her jaw, and crimson bloom of her scraped knuckles. What exactly happened to you?
Thought all the whispers about Durgan's battery were just village superstition. And maybe they are. But I might have been on my guard if I'd listened. I was part of an expedition, hunting for relics from Durgan's battery. We picked up a good haul, too.
She takes a wet leopard slow swallow from her beer.
So it figures that's when the winds pick up and the sky starts dumping snow. We lost sight of the road. Meanwhile, something else found us. Took Liam out before we even realized we were surrounded. And then we see him coming out of the snow. These little four-armed wilder. Lagufoth, they're called. Quick little bastards. Francesca and I held them off as long as we could, but when they filled her full of darts, I turned tail and ran. Found my way here and thanked my luck for escaping the Lagufoth. Then come to find out that this town's got an ogre problem.
I'm sorry to hear about your friends.
That's a kind sentiment. I'll mourn them when I get home. But I've got to retrieve our haul if I'm to have any hope of that. I need to get those artifacts. Not that I'm in any shape to go after them myself. But I can't afford to return to Defiance Bay without something to show for my expedition. But you've got your own expedition to the battery, don't you? While you're out there, maybe you could look for my goods. Whatever's left of them. I'll give you a cut for anything you bring back, of course. I ain't asking for charity. I just can't afford to go home empty-handed.
So what are you looking for?
Like I said, we were treasure hunting near Durgan's battery when we were ambushed. What else do you want to know?
Examine the teeth. There's the teams that gums are stained with dark spots. Okay, is that gonna be useful? These relics so important to you.
We took out several loans to pay for our trip out here. I'm gonna have trouble if I don't pay them back.
Okay. My girl told me There's another expedition came through before I arrived. Was that you?
Who? No, that would have been somebody else. We didn't meet with Renengild, or anyone else in town for that matter. We were operating on our own. Just that it's been locked up tight for 200 years on account of those dwarves having a row. Which means that any trinkets from inside fetch a nice price. Sorry, I'm more of a businesswoman than a historian.
No, the word is not row, it's row. That's the reason why we have voice direction. Brethren. Hey there, good timing. You go watch me trans brethren. I'll call on sharp objects. This won't end well. Once, Andred. You won once. You're playing games? What of the ogre attack? What? We won, didn't we? That is, you won, really. We just lived through it. We're not risking the road just yet, with the ogre still out there. So we're stuck here. Might as well play, right? But like we lost anybody we know. Andred. What are you playing? Orland's Head. That's what they call it anyhow. Smooth. Pick a target, see? Knows what he is. Knows it's worth more, but you got 2 years to work with. You get less points the further after the target you get. So for the mouth and eyes, no points if you miss. Let's see a game, 3 throws each, and whoever gets the most points will end it wins the wager. I'll put down 50 pounds if you will. It's a little tasteless. Hey, I didn't name it. Don't take it that serious. We're using the real Orland. Sure, let's play. Pay 50 copper. Over the ears. Alright, okay. Line for the nose. Nice. Over the ears. That's 19 for you, and 19 for me. Bad stranger. Looks like you can win this one. Here's your prize. This always against some practicing. So yeah, that's a game that you can play in the second game. It's August that you planned. Have they crowned you King of Stalwart yet? My friend doesn't mean to be an ass, so it just comes natural. What? I don't want a crown. Put yourself.
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you came by. I hoped I'd have the chance to thank you properly. They told me what happened. God's bless you, sir. I owe you my life. I know it was foolish of me to run in there. But this ring is all that I have of my family.
How are you holding up?
Oh, I'm managing. Fenway's letting me stay with her until I'm back on my feet. Everyone's been lovely, really. It was hard seeing what's left of the house. But Rayvald says he's going to see a hut raised for me soon as they get the logs.
Maybe you can help me. I don't remember that. Especially about this ring anyway.
Sentiment, mostly. When he first settled here, my grandfather had a ring fashioned from the first batch of ore he excavated. It was supposed to commemorate his fresh start. He passed it on to his daughter, and my mother gave it to me in turn. Hello, sir. Funny. Rayvald was just in here asking after the same thing. Guess that stuff really is popular. Averick has some, but he says the Fenland stuff's not for sale. And he's rigged up the cellar like a battlefield trying to keep people out. Sorry. If anyone deserves a drink, it's you, sir. But I don't think I could convince him.
I understand.
We still have a decent supply of food and drink if anything else takes your fancy.
Owena! Go check on that Orland. Make sure he don't steal nothing. Never seen such a bloodbath. Feels like we got half the town's survivors in here, just drinking to forget it. But you must be looking for some refreshment, too, after the way you handled them ogres. Or perhaps a room. Say the word, and I'll give that shifty little Orland the boot.
I think you might want to know that Rayfeld has asked me to steal your liquor.
He did he? That shifty little crook never learns. I'll have it put away somewhere safe. Thank you for doing the decent thing. Here, for your honesty. Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Hell yeah, you said something about the Norland.
Showed up a few days ago, sticks his nose out of the back room just long enough to empty his chamber pot. Up to no good, I tell you. I'd like nothing more than to see him gone, but I don't want a ruckus over it.
What makes you so sure he's trouble?
We get our share of lowlifes coming through here. Smugglers, fugitives, Kith looking to avoid the sharp eye of the law. The way he's keeping to himself. Well, honest Kith sure don't have cause for it.
I could talk to him.
I'd appreciate it. And I suppose I don't need to remind you that I don't want you to hurt him. I'm sure you can find a more discreet way of handling the problem.
Okay. Let's see if we can find him. It seems there's a bit of gambling here as well. So yeah, I think we'll just sort things around here, and then I'll call it a night, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit more tired than I expected today. Yeah, in 2 hours. The hero of the hour. Here, Frick sent you down to check on us. We are causing trouble, on my word. Who are you? Tennessee. Humble fisherman. Though with the ogres coming down all the time, well, I'd sooner finish truth down the bottle for some time being. What are you playing? Dozens. Care to try your luck? Each of us puts down £50. If he wins, you take 100. Explain the rules if you like. Yeah, sure, what are the rules? It's simple enough. Want to take a roll? It takes a roll. We roll 3 dice each. Get 3 4s, that's a dozen. Beats all the other rolls. You get anything else, that sums to 12. That's a Tars, second best. You roll any other triples, that's a God Hammer. You get a pair, that's a Princess. 1, 2, 3 is a Saint, that's the lowest. Okay. Maybe the roll is Tarkus. Doesn't matter anything, so you roll the dice again. And play. Play. I'll go first, since you're new. I guess the dice. Witnesses value 5. This is value 1. Damn. Where's my witnesses? Where's yours? Roll the dice. Talkers. Breathless. Witness value 1. Oh, sorry, evenly matched. Let's go again. Focus, witnesses value 6. Rolls a because dice again. Saints. I think I win. See, this is something particularly interesting. Oh god, how much nice. I don't mind. Okay, well, we won. Good, just one now. I'll bet you next time. So that was a bit cack because.
Careful. Havrick's very particular about his wines.
You should see this.
I wasn't kidding. He said it had it set up like a battlefield.
As requested. As requested. As requested.
So yeah. So that was a bit rubbish really, because there wasn't any skill to it, or any strategy, it's just you just keep rolling and just hope for the best. Which isn't particularly great. But you can't have the goals. Don't think I'm gonna try that, thank you. There it is.
I'll see what I can find.
you know, hello.
Excuse me. Was there something you need?
Oh, wait.
Not to be rude, but I'm rather busy. Can't you get another room?
Halfling sent me to check on you. He dislikes Orlan, so of course he thinks you're onto something.
What? Oh no. No.
Can't imagine why you'd think a thing like that.
Is she there? Did you see her?
Who are you talking about?
Devala. That woman. The slaver, she... I was a slave in Raid Ceres. I ran away. Made it here. The mountains are usually the best place to lose slavers, but Devala's one of the best.
As long as slavers haunt our steps, there can be no freedom for his spirit. I'm so sorry, can I help?
I just want to get out of here. I've scraped together enough money to reach New Haelmar.
New Haelmar, that's how they... I mean, it's lovely. You'll love it.
But the locals talk about a Raid Saren party, camped west of town. It's got to be Devala. She's been after me since the foothills. I'll pay you if you can get rid of her. I don't care how.
I'll do it.
Thank you. But be careful. She wouldn't have come alone.
Oh, 1 second. 21 hours. Cyclopedia. Locations. Deerwood? No. What's in New Haelmar? You see, this is the problem. You know how I said before how Obsidian are, at least Pillars of Eternity is the epitome of tell, don't show, or telling rather than showing. We don't even get the tell. What is New Haelmar? Why is that not much of an improvement? Why did Aloth shoot himself down? I'm trying to find it here. But there's nothing here. If I'm missing it, please tell me. I don't want to get things wrong. Ah, lore, okay. Red Ceres. Why isn't that in locations? Okay, is New Haelmar here? Oh! No, it's not. It's not in the lore here. Any mention of it in the Saints' War? No. Anything in the Salvation? No. Whiterun's Legacy? No. Let's have a look. Anything in the White March? I know the name. Haelmar. Ingwith. Nope, nothing there. Fuck me, running right. That's piss poor.
Something I can do for you.
Yeah, that's bad. I know that like you can choose a background, and I know that characters mentioned it, and like it's part of the backstories. But yeah.
If you weren't gonna fetch the liquor for me, you didn't have to tell Havrick about it. Now he's banned me from the inn altogether.
Sorry, I figured I'd keep you out of trouble.
Out of trouble? It was only a drink. Now I get to die sober when the ogres come back. Right, fair enough. What do you want?
Let's see if there's something we can't do here. Ah, so this is one of those suspensions where... Oh no, you can actually go straight to Durgan's battery if you want to. Let's go to the Rusted Wood. Can we go to the Rusted Wood? Ah, that's why. We've got to do it this way. You have to go to the specific point. Which is fine. Yeah. Let's see what awaits us in the Rusted Wood. Hopefully this is just a nice short bit and then we can turn. This is not going to be a short bit. You know what? I'm too tired. I'm going to come back to this either tomorrow or Sunday. And, yeah. I'll do it with a fresh head. "12 hours, the chapel will be finished." Nice. So we haven't got many more buildings to do. Oh, the Southgate Well I haven't purchased yet. What am I like? That's probably going to prevent the Aladdin Key from attacking. Hey, dear me. What am I like? Yeah, so I will continue this next time. But yes, I'm sorry that like this part hasn't produced much content. We've essentially just gone about picking up quests. But you know what Pillars is like by now, it's like it does take a lot of time to get things done. We shall see how things go in the next part. Hopefully a bit more productive and a bit more exciting. But yeah, and if you guys can think of any more games you'd like me to cover, I'd be delighted to consider other games. But thanks for watching. Take care. It's that for now.